All right, so in examining our startup structure, last we come to internal. I would say last and least we come to internal. What do I mean by internal? I mean HR, I mean billing. Well, here I'll say not just billing, but it's really billing, which is accounts receivable, and then you have accounts payable, and various other internal functions. That's obviously not a complete list. Let me throw a couple more on here. I will throw legal. I will throw accounting. So all of this, if these things are occupying a substantial percentage of your brain space, then you are doing something wrong. The reason it's below the line is that this is just not that important. These are all secondary support functions. They don't move the needle for the business. And yet you sometimes see companies spending an inordinate amount of time on some of these internal functions before they've reached them. Hey, if you're a 1,000-person company, okay, you have real work to do here. If you're a 10,000-person company, of course you have real work to do here. But if you see a company, or if I see a company that has 25 people, or 30 people, or maybe even 50 people investing inordinately in these areas, then I know something is wrong. That's not optimal. What I would say is that you have to do the minimum. It's not like you can avoid some of these, but the way you do it is you automate as much as humanly possible. And there are so many good vendors out there that, help with that these days in terms of all of these processes. I mean, think about cap tables and how hard cap tables were to manage, say, 10 to 15 years ago. And nowadays, you got Carta Launch, or you've got Gust, or when we started Fraction, we used CapBase. But there are many of them. So I'm not, saying that which one is best, I don't know. But there are many solutions to automate things like that. So you don't need any lawyers or any, accountants or any other service folks to come in and do that on a daily basis. Do you need those key personnel, or those sorts of service providers at times, in certain cases? Sure. But is that a daily need or maybe even a quarterly need? It shouldn't be. And that enables you to focus on the actual important parts of the business. Another red flag would be if you find yourself hiring in these areas, and you're relatively, I would say, when I say early stage, sub 10 million ARR, I think you defer it as long as possible, and you do so through automation. And that's going to lead to success, because that means that you're focusing on the right things up here.